When you are Mmusi Maimane, Songezo Zibi, Patricia De Lille, or Herman Mashaba, what do you do when you find out you backed the wrong horse? Do you humble yourself and apologize for your lapse in good judgment? Do you go back to the South African public and say, sorry, I will do better next time? No, that's not what you do. What you do is you hold a media briefing and tell the public that you were in fact the one riding the winning horse. That is shameful. Had these parties simply abstained when the fiscal framework was adopted, they would not find themselves in this situation in the first place. And I think it would have been better if they went out quietly and hoped nobody would remember how they propped up an unpopular ANC proposal. Instead, they attacked the party that has actually stopped the VAT increase in its tracks. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Musia. Let's get right into this. In my view, these opening remarks by ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula at the VAT Support Coalition media briefing is all that should have been said.
As the ANC, we recognize that we have entered a period of coalitions at the national government level, which we may characterize as uncharted waters. Before, we used to engage differently with the budget. In the government of national unity and coalition government, we have learned our lessons in relation to how we seek to engage with matters of the budget. We may have performed better in these uncharted waters, approaching the budget as a political tool in the governance of any other country. The budget is key as a political tool to determine stronger governance in different countries. If we had a wealth of experience, we may have approached this differently, meaning negotiations and engagement with political parties among ourselves, with Treasury and Parliament oversight prior the passing of the budget is a new terrain that we all need to learn about and gain as an experience when dealing with this particular matter.
Instead, these parties did their best to try and portray their collaboration as the reason for the reversal of this decision. Here is a clip from ANC spokesperson Mahlengi Bengu reading the statement on behalf of the group.
This is a victory for the people and for democratic institutions. This is not a victory for one single party, nor is it about who claims the loudest voice. This is a people's victory. It is a quiet but profound triumph of democratic institutions, as well as that of Parliament acting in an activist nature, which is expected of a democratic Parliament.
I am not sure that the withdrawal of the VAT increase is a victory for anyone at this stage. We still don't know how the government will raise the funds, and we as a country may still come to rue this decision. But if it is a victory for anyone, it is definitely not for the parties in that room. Like true politicians, however, they did not miss the opportunity to praise themselves for the wonderful work they had done. And they went on a full attack against the parties that stood firm and took the fight to the ANC.
In simple terms, Action SA rejected the budget as long as the VAT increase remained in place. Today, our position has been vindicated. Despite this, what follows was a deliberate and well-funded misinformation campaign that misled you, the South African people, falsely claiming that Action had supported a VAT increase.
let us all be clear that this is also not a result of litigation or political grandstanding. It is a result of us all here today present putting our country first. So I hope that as we leave here today, and as our political and as our democracy mature, that the lesson that we've learned out of this is that we must at all times put the people of South Africa first and not our political parties.
So South Africans, don't be misled. We saw this morning that the Western Cape was full of posters and boards claiming victory. That court process is not done. The court have not dictated to these parties or to the GNU to remove VAT. Therefore, they cannot claim victory. We appreciate that the Ministry of Finance have had the parties that are gathered here. They've understood that we serve constituencies, and they've understood that our concerns emanate from the mandate that we're given by our different constituencies, and therefore removed the VAT.
What this moment teaches us, importantly, is that we will have to be a government in constant communication and talking to each other, not past each other. And there is no constructive conversation that's going to take place in a court of law. There is no constructive conversation that is going to reach us at the point of resolving our problems if we continue seeing the kind of big brother syndrome that characterizes some of the behavior that is out there. We believe that we need to return to the negotiating table. We believe that you can't be half pregnant. You can't be in government today and then in opposition tomorrow. Either you are in or you are out for the purposes of consistency within what we do in the budgetary processes and in governing generally.
We have always said that reconfiguration depends on conduct and then also depend. If you say that I'm not supporting this thing and I'm in government, it means you're defining yourself outside. The fact that you are still here, we are shocked. So the fact of the matter that you are still here, we are shocked because you can't support something that you have not been party to.
If the ANC and all these parties were against the VAT increase in the first place, what is their beef with the DA? How can they accuse the DA of being unpatriotic if they were demanding the same thing? DA Federal Council Chairperson Helen Zille is spot on that after going the collaboration route, they are now trying their best to save face.
What we have been asking for since the very beginning of the mooted VAT increase is now coming to pass. The Minister has conceded that we were right in our arguments from the beginning, and yet he seeks to undermine his major coalition partner by holding a press conference with parties outside the coalition to claim victory on a point that we have been fighting for since the very beginning, and to claim victory on a point that they did not support when the vote came to the Portfolio Committee or to Parliament. They, in fact, supported the VAT increase. So you cannot put all of these ironies into one coherent political space. It is one contradiction after another.
It is true what Mbalula said about the country entering a new phase in its political life where ways of engaging with each other need to change. With reduced numbers must come reduced arrogance and thinking that you can still ram your decisions through. But that goes for the DA as well. It is true what the smaller parties were saying. The DA was willing to go even with a 2 percentage point VAT increase if the ANC agrees on certain demands, including running metro rail services and the Port of Cape Town. So pretending that their fight against VAT was for the benefit of the poor sounds disingenuous. Thank you very much for watching. If you are not yet a subscriber, please consider doing so. You can also assist by sharing our episodes on your social media platforms and WhatsApp status. Don't forget to like and comment. See you in the next one.